Yo, did you know that France and Mexico went to war over a damaged pastry shop which led to a leg being buried, then unburied, then buried, and then unburied again, and the US getting a prosthetic wooden leg? It's 1821 and Mexico's become independent from Spain. But the big problem, after this Mexico was constantly exploding. This eventually led a French pastry chef called Remontel
Croissant.
having his pastry shop looted by Mexican officers. And since Mexico was exploding, he couldn't get compensation from the government, and instead wrote to France and the French king about what had happened. I should also mention that at this point as well, that the French were annoyed at Mexico for not paying their debts after the Texas Revolution in 1836, so they were more than happy to make the demand. A big old 600,000 pesos, or 3 million francs, with 60,000 pesos going to Remontal.
Croissant.
But Mexico declined, so the French king ordered the French fleet to blockade all ports in the Gulf of the Gulf of America. They took the city of Veracruz, and Mexico declared war on France. Mexico's getting its ass beat until they call the man out of retirement, former president and military general Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, who managed to push the French back to their ships with a makeshift army. But also the French might have already been leaving, but when he's fighting, his leg gets shot with grape shot and becomes extremely damaged and has to be amputated. And he buries the leg in Veracruz. Okay, so the war ends, and the British negotiate that France gets what it wanted, and they leave on the 9th of March, 1839. Now this is where shit gets weird. It's 1842, and Santa Anna has become president again.
Hello.
So as you do, he digs up his leg, puts it in a glass case, has it transported and paraded around Mexico City, burying it in a full state funeral with speeches, so Canada salutes, the whole shebang. Only 2 years later, everyone hated the guy, so they dug up his leg and tied it to a rope and dragged it around the city chanting, and these aren't my words, these are theirs, "Death to the cripple." He was forced into exile, and his leg, no one knows where that went. Then the Mexican-American War happened, and Mexico needs him again, so he comes back with his wooden leg this time and joins Mexico. But while he's fighting in the war, he decides to have a lunch break without his wooden leg on. Then some infantry from Illinois sneak up on him, and he's forced to flee on his horse without his leg, which coincidentally you can now see in the Illinois State Military Museum, all because of some
Croissant.